The Last Free Man. Chapter 6. Into the Lion's Den. The moment I hear the click of the door, my pulse spikes. The footsteps are measured, purposeful. Someone who belongs here. Someone who expects this room to be empty. Ren's fingers hover over the keyboard, frozen mid-command. Her eyes flick to mine, calculating. Run. The word barely leaves her lips before she kills the terminal feed, shutting down the system in a flicker of static. It won't erase our presence, but it might buy us a few seconds. I don't hesitate. I grab the nearest file tablet from the desk. Something, anything, to make us look like we belong. Ren does the same, shifting her stance just as the door slides open behind us. A Harmony officer steps in. He's tall, wearing the black and silver uniform of medical enforcement. A biometric scanner is clipped to his belt, a compliance tool capable of detecting stress responses and irregularities. He sees us. Pauses. His gaze narrows. This room was supposed to be locked. My grip tightens on the tablet. Think. Ren reacts first. Override request, she says, her tone clipped and professional. She holds up the tablet like it contains orders. Central Relay flagged a personnel log error. We were sent to verify entries before the next rotation. The officer frowns. By who? Director Lorne. She doesn't blink, doesn't hesitate. I don't know who Director Lorne is, but I pray he exists. The officer studies her. The room is too quiet. Then, slowly, he shifts his gaze to me. I force a bored expression. Problem? The moment stretches. Then, the officer exhales through his nose. No one tells me anything anymore. He steps inside, moving toward the terminal. My breath catches. If he reboots the system, he'll see exactly what we did. Ren beats him to it. She places a hand on the terminal, blocking his reach. Systems mid-cycle. If you access now, it'll corrupt the dataset. The officer scowls. That's not protocol. It is now. Ren meets his gaze, unflinching. Unless you'd like to report a data failure to Director Lorne. Silence. The officer glares at her. Then at me. Then back at the terminal. Finally, he mutters a curse and turns away. Finish up and get out, he snaps. I've got enough to deal with already. Ren nods. Understood. He steps out. The door slides shut behind him. We don't breathe for 5 full seconds. Then Ren exhales. That was close. I feel lightheaded. Who the hell is Director Lorne? She smirks. No idea. We don't waste time. Our work here is done. Our names are now officially logged in Sector 1's personnel database as the new medtechs assigned to the upcoming transport. We exit the hub, walking like we belong. I fight every instinct telling me to look over my shoulder. Outside, the sky is shifting toward dawn. 4 hours until the convoy leaves. Sable and Arik are waiting in a stolen transport unit 2 blocks away. I climb in, shutting the door behind me. My hands are shaking. Sable grins. See? Told you this would be fun. I glare at her. Arik doesn't waste words. Did you get in? Ren nods, pulling up the credentials on her tablet. We're locked in. Our transport leaves at 0700. A heavy silence settles. We're really doing this. In 4 hours, we'll be inside Sector 1, the heart of Harmony's empire. And if we're caught, there won't be a second chance. We suit up. The medtech uniforms fit snug. The Harmony insignia stitched into the fabric in perfect symmetry. Everything in Neo Eden was precise. No wrinkles, no creases, no imperfection. Arik adjusts the ID badge clipped to his chest. Ren hands me mine, her expression unreadable. "You're sweating," she murmurs. I glance at her. "No kidding." I clip the badge in place, forcing my breath to steady. One wrong move, and the entire city would come down on us. We step into the convoy loading bay precisely 3 minutes before departure. The garage is enormous. Stainless steel walls, towering storage crates, and Harmony officers posted at every exit. The convoy itself consists of 6 armored transport units, each one lined with biometric scanners. Sable mutters under her breath. "This is a fortress on wheels." I don't respond. My mouth is dry. Arik is already moving. He steps forward first, flashing his clearance badge at the nearest officer. "Medtechs for Transport 3. The officer barely looks up. "Scan in." A red-lighted scanner hums beside the convoy door. This is it. If Ren's forgery held, we'd pass. If not, Arik scans first. A brief pause. Then, a soft beep. Green light. Sable goes next. Then Ren. I'm last. I step forward. The scanner flashes red for a millisecond, just long enough to make my pulse spike, before it clicks green. "Boarding approved," the officer says. Move. Inside, the transport smells of antiseptic and steel. The interior is sleek, clinical, rows of sealed supply lockers, secured medical kits, and a central command terminal linked directly to Sector 1's security grid. Ren settles into the farthest seat, pulling out her data slate. She doesn't speak, but I see the tension in her hands. Sable stretches, resting her boots on an empty crate. Easiest infiltration ever. Arik doesn't look at her. Don't jinx it. The transport rumbles beneath us as the convoy engines start. I grip the seat beside me. We're moving. There's no turning back now. 15 minutes into the ride, the comms system crackles. A Harmony officer's voice filters through. Routine scan commencing. Sable's boots drop from the crate. Wait. What? A soft mechanical click. Overhead, a hidden security scanner slides from the ceiling, its lens glowing a dull blue. Arik tenses. That wasn't in the plan. I swallow hard. What is it scanning for? Ren doesn't look up. Biometrics. My pulse spikes. Our faces, our DNA, our neural signatures. If Harmony's system cross-references our profiles against the real medtech team, we're dead. Ren moves first, fingers flying over her data slate. I can disrupt the scan, but I need 10 seconds. The scanner clicks into active mode. Countdown initiated. 10, 9. I force myself to breathe. 8, 7. Sable grips the edge of her seat, eyes darting toward the emergency override panel near the door. Plan B? Arik shakes his head. Not yet. 6, 5. My heart slams against my ribs. 4 dots, 3 dots, Ren's fingers blur over the slate. Almost. 2. The scanner beeps. The transport jerks hard. I grab onto the seat just as the entire system shuts down. The scanner powers off. Ren exhales. Disrupted. A pause. Then, the comms crackle again. Security anomaly detected. Report to Sector 1 for additional screening. Silence. Sable mutters a curse. You have got to be kidding me. Arik stands slowly, eyes cold. New plan. Silence. A suffocating, heavy silence fills the transport. Security anomaly detected. The words hang in the air like a death sentence. Outside, the convoy keeps moving. But now, we aren't heading for a smooth infiltration. We're heading straight into an inspection zone. Arik exhales slowly. We're compromised. Sable grips the edge of her seat. No shit. Ren doesn't look up from her slate. She's already typing, working through Harmony's security subroutines. But I see the tension in her jaw. This isn't a small problem. I swallow hard. Options? Arik's voice is ice. We fight. Take the transport, get off this route, and disappear before we hit the checkpoint. Sable cracks her knuckles. Finally, a fun plan. I don't feel like fighting is the smart move here. We're inside an active convoy under full surveillance, minutes away from Harmony's most fortified district. If we take this truck, Harmony will be on us in seconds. Too risky, I say. There has to be another way. Ren stops typing. There might be, she mutters. We all turn to her. She pushes her slate toward me, screen flickering with lines of scrolling data. The anomaly alert wasn't triggered by an ID mismatch, she explains. The biometrics matched just enough to pass the initial scan. Arik frowns. Then what flagged us? She exhales. Heartbeat rhythms. My pulse jolts. Sable raises an eyebrow. You're saying we got caught because we were too damn nervous? Ren nods. Harmony's deep scans track biometric patterns over time. The real medtechs on this convoy are calm, used to the routine. We aren't. Our vitals read as stressed. That's what flagged us. Arik mutters a curse under his breath. And now? We're being diverted to a Sector 1 screening checkpoint for manual verification. A cold weight settles in my stomach. Which means... She looks up. We have 10 minutes before Harmony scans us again. This time, in person. I exhale sharply. We are so screwed. Arik rubs his temple. How many at the checkpoint? Ren checks her slate. 4 guards, plus a biometric analyst. I don't like those odds. Can we jam the checkpoint? I ask. Ren shakes her head. It's an isolated node. No network vulnerabilities. No way to override from here. Sable smirks. Then we don't override. We improvise. I don't like that smirk. Arik leans forward. You have something in mind? Sable stretches her arms. Yeah. Ever heard of a medical emergency? Arik narrows his eyes. No. Sable grins. Too late. Already sold on it. I blink. What are you talking about? She sits back. Simple. We fake a crisis. Something messy enough to distract security and get us through before they can process our bioscans. I stare at her. You mean, like a seizure? Too minor. We need chaos. Arik crosses his arms. What exactly are you proposing? Sable's grin widens. She reaches into her uniform pocket and pulls out a small, unlabeled injector vial. Arik's expression darkens. Sable. She tilts her head. What? That better not be what I think it is. Sable shrugs. Depends on what you think it is. I glance between them. What is that? Sable tosses the vial to Ren, who catches it effortlessly. Stimulant cocktail, neural overload, short term. Looks ugly as hell, though. Arik mutters. Damn it, Reyes. Sable leans back. One of us takes it. We go into full-blown cardiac distress. Convulsions, vitals spiking, something that throws Harmony's medics into immediate response mode. My stomach tightens. Ren studies the vial. You sure it's safe? Sable smirks. Depends on your definition of safe. Arik shakes his head. It's reckless. It's brilliant, Sable corrects. Harmony enforcers follow strict medical protocol. If we stage this right, they'll be too busy keeping us alive to finish their damn bioscans. I rub my temples. So you want one of us to nearly die to get through a security checkpoint? Sable's smirk doesn't fade. Not nearly, just enough to sell it. I swallow hard. And who's volunteering? Sable's eyes lock onto mine. Oh, hell no. I stare at the vial in Ren's hands. It's small, harmless looking, but I know better. It's a cocktail designed to overload the nervous system, sending the body into a temporary cardiac crisis. Convulsions, erratic vitals, full medical distress. It'll look bad. Really bad. Sable leans back against the transport wall, arms crossed. So, what's it gonna be, Professor? I feel the weight of every stare in the transport. Arik shakes his head. This is insane. Sable shrugs. Got a better idea? He doesn't answer, because there isn't a better idea. We're minutes away from the checkpoint. If we don't do something, Harmony will scan us manually, and they will know who we are. I take a slow breath. My heartbeat is already too fast. Sable smirks. I'll make it easy for you. You take this, you suffer for about 5 minutes, and then we all live to fight another day. I grit my teeth. Or? She shrugs. Or we get executed at the gate. Not much of a choice. I reach for the vial. Ren grabs my wrist before I can take it. Her grip is firm, cold. She looks at me for a long second, then turns to Sable. What's in it? Sable rolls her eyes. A little neural stimulant, some adrenal enhancers. Enough to fry his nervous system, but not enough to kill him. Arik mutters something under his breath. He does not look convinced. Neither does Ren. She narrows her eyes at Sable. Exact dosage? Sable snatches the vial back. Relax. I've done this before. That's not an answer. Sable sighs. Fine. 1 milligram should do the trick. Ren doesn't let go of my wrist. And if it's too much? Sable smirks. Then he dies. But hey, we'd be dead anyway. Arik steps between them. Enough. If we're doing this, we do it now. I exhale slowly. 5 minutes of pain or a bullet to the head. Not much of a choice. I nod. Let's get it over with. The world fades to muffled voices. A faint beeping sound pulses in the background. My head pounds, my vision is blurry, and my body feels like it's been electrocuted. I'm alive. That's the first thing I register. The second thing? We're not in the transport anymore. I blink hard, trying to focus. Bright white lights burn into my eyes. The sterile scent of antiseptic and metal fills my nose. This isn't the convoy. We're in Sector 1's medical wing. I try to sit up. Bad idea. Pain explodes through my ribs, sending a sharp jolt up my spine. I barely bite back a groan. Someone grips my arm, forcing me to lie back down. Don't move, idiot. Ren's voice. I manage a weak cough, my throat burning like fire. Where? She leans over me, expression tense. You blacked out. We had to carry you in here. I blink sluggishly. Checkpoint? Her eyes flicker. We made it through. I exhale slowly. That's something. But something in Ren's tone makes me uneasy. I glance past her, my vision still hazy. The room is small, too small. Just one cot.
That's it for this chapter of The Last Free Man. If you're enjoying the story and want to see what happens next, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps get this audiobook out to more people. New chapters drop every week, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. You won't want to miss what's coming next. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think of the story so far. And if you know someone who would love this world, share this video with them. The Resistance needs all the help it can get. Until next time, stay free.